Hey, in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about how you should be following up with your prospects as an estate planning attorney. So as you know, as an estate planning attorney, sometimes it can take some time to close leads. One of our clients said it best, it's like going to the dentist. You know you have to go, but you really don't want to. Same with estate planning. Everyone knows they need one. Maybe they don't even know that actually, but even though they may know they need one, it might take time for them to come in because it's a tedious process and you're talking about things you don't necessarily want to think of. So follow-up is super, super important for estate planning attorneys. I would say it's more important than almost any other practice area because it's an elective type practice area. They have to come in and want to do this, and they don't really need to. They can go about life without doing this. So we're going to talk about some CRM systems that you can use for follow-up, and we're going to talk about a couple of nuances when it comes to CRM. So first of all, we're going to talk about what is a CRM, why are they helpful, what are some popular ones, and what features you should look for when selecting one. And I'm talking about a CRM from a sales standpoint, not necessarily a case management standpoint. So a CRM is a customer relationship management system, and all it does is pretty much allow you to manage all of your contacts and all of the interactions with your contacts in order to move them down a pipeline. And I'll talk about what a pipeline is next. But these are some of the popular CRMs. You have Salesforce, which I'm sure you've heard of, is a billion-dollar company. You have Clio, which is a legal specific system. You have HubSpot, again, public company, really, really nice system. I've used it before and I currently still do. Practice Panther is legal specific. I've heard good things. Law Hustle is really, really cool. Uses a lot of automation and you get pretty, really hands-on customer service. Captora, a little clunkier, but it is a good system. And then Infusionsoft. There are many more out there, and if you have questions about them or you want me to evaluate one for you, reach out. I'll be more than happy to give you my opinion. So why are they helpful? So they're good from a sales and customer management standpoint. So they help facilitate the sales process and automate emails, text messages, and it can also help you keep records and notes on your existing customers or potential customers. So it also gives you accurate information on your marketing sources. So you know that, okay, Google is providing me X amount of clients per week, or Facebook is providing me X amount of clients per month. And what you get eventually is a nice looking pipeline that looks like this. So what a pipeline is every stage of your customer process. So let's say a new lead comes in, that's one stage. They're in the new lead stage. Let's say they book a consultation with you. Just book, not showed. That is another stage. Then they attended the consultation. That is stage 3 of your pipeline. And then after that, it would be you've sent them documents or you're waiting for payment. Those would be stages in your pipeline, and it allows you to visualize which leads are in those different stages, which is very helpful. So again, I already talked about some of the popular CRMs. These are what they cost. And again, a lot of people think CRMs are expensive. They really don't need to be. Again, HubSpot starts at $50 a month. Very, very functional. Not tons of automation right out of the box. Clio, $50 a month. Salesforce, $25 a month. Practice Panther, $49 a month. Law Hustle, $497 a month. Again, that is a lot more hands-on. They do a lot more stuff for you right out of the box. So that's why it's a little more expensive. And these are the features you should look for. So you want email capability when someone fills out a form or when they're moved to a different stage in the pipeline. Text messages would be ideal. And as far as I know, most of those systems do not allow texting except for Law Hustle. Marketing attribution, this is pretty standard. Pipeline view, pretty standard. Document storage, pretty standard. Email tracking, what that is you can actually see when someone opens your email. And what that allows you to do is see, okay, this person's still interested in what I have to say, or they're not even opening my emails anymore. Just helpful information to know when you're following up with somebody. And then task management. So what you should look for when you have a CRM and when you're following up with people is you should follow up with your hottest leads first. So when you have a sales pipeline and someone has attended one of your meetings, well, these are your best leads because they've attended a meeting and they're still a viable option to become a client. You should follow up with them first. After that, you can go to someone who's booked a meeting with you and didn't show. That is your next stage of warm leads because, again, they booked a meeting, they just didn't show up. So trying to get them to show to a meeting is very important. And then you can work all of your new leads who have not booked a meeting yet. That should be your workflow during the day when you're following up with people. because you want to follow up with the warmest leads first because those have the best chance of closing. You don't want to age those very long. So that is some general information on how to set up a CRM, what you should look for, what the cost is. And again, follow up for estate planning is super, super important. This is something else I want to talk about. Some best practices for sales. When someone fills out a form or books an appointment, you want to send them an email or an automated message just confirming those two things. That right there, that initial touch point is huge. Having automated follow-ups in place for the stages I just talked about are very, very important. The only way you can do that is by setting up a pipeline. And then the last piece of information here is track your marketing sources. Again, you want to know where your clients are coming from, and should you continue to put money into those sources, because if it's not producing, you should stop throwing away money. So in summary, a CRM is only as good as the person using it. If you don't do these things, if you don't set up a pipeline, you're not using the pipeline stages to follow up with people, it's going to be a completely useless system. I've seen $100,000, $200,000 Salesforce implementations that are completely useless because they don't use it. So again, it's only as good as the person using it. You can have a cheap CRM and it can be a rock star for your business. And make sure you're using it in a sales capacity. A lot of people use it for storage and or keeping track of their existing customers, but a huge function of a CRM is to sell people. So use it in that capacity. And if you ever need help with any of these things or you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. My email is elliot@empirical360. I'll be more than happy to walk you through what some of these things look like. I'll show you what our CRM system looks like and how it's used. So any questions, feel free to reach out, and I'll see you in the next video.